There is a pair of Levi's hanging on a rack right now for $68 that shares a fabric weight range with a pair of jeans, selling 3 racks over for $298. A price gap of $230. Out of the dozens of denim lines Levi's currently produces, only a handful actually earn a comparison to that kind of designer price tag. 3 of them, despite carrying the same red tab everyone recognizes, are not worth the trip to the register. 7 of them are quietly doing something most shoppers walking past them have no idea about. By the end of this, you will know exactly which 3 to leave on the rack, and which one earns the #1 spot for a reason that has nothing to do with marketing and everything to do with where the fabric actually comes from. Here is the part most people never stop to consider. Levi Strauss & Company is not one factory making one grade of jeans. It is a portfolio of separate product lines, each built to a different cost target, sold through different channels, and in some cases manufactured under different quality standards entirely, all wearing the same red tab on the back pocket. A jean sold inside a Levi's flagship store and a jean sold inside a big box retailer can both say Levi's on the label while coming from entirely different production tiers. This is standard practice across mass apparel, a strategy retail analysts often describe as tiered branding, where a trusted name gets stretched across multiple price points so the company can compete in every aisle at once. The name on the tag tells you almost nothing. The construction underneath it tells you everything. Let's start with what to walk past. The first is Signature by Levi Strauss & Company, sold almost exclusively inside big box retailers like Walmart. This is a critical distinction most shoppers miss. Signature is not Levi's. It is a separate, lower-cost brand owned by the same parent company, priced around $20 to $25. The fabric runs noticeably lighter than core Levi's denim. The rivets and stitching are built to a mass-market cost target rather than a durability target. Multiple long-term owners have documented the waistband losing its shape within the first several months of regular wear. If the price tag is under $25 and the label says Signature rather than Levi's, you are buying an entirely different product wearing a familiar name. The second to skip is outlet-exclusive Levi's, meaning jeans manufactured specifically for outlet locations, rather than jeans marked down from a full-price store. Retail sourcing patterns consistently point to outlet-exclusive apparel being built on separate, lower-cost specifications from the start, even when the style number matches a full-price product. A pair labeled 511 Slim at an outlet can carry thinner denim, simplified back pocket stitching, and lower-grade hardware compared to a 511 Slim sold at a mainline store, despite the identical name on the tag. Industry specialists estimate the fabric weight difference alone can run measurably lighter, thin enough that some buyers report visible wear along the inner thigh within the first year. The catch is that there is no reliable way to tell the two apart just by looking at the tag. Treat outlet Levi's as its own category, not a discount on the real thing. The third to skip is limited run collaboration and licensed capsule denim, built around a designer partnership or seasonal fashion tie-in rather than Levi's own core catalog. These pieces are produced in smaller batches, often on compressed timelines, which creates a documented pattern of inconsistency between batches. Buyers across resale and retail forums have repeatedly reported sizing that runs differently from the numbered measurements on the tag, along with finishing details that vary noticeably from one batch to the next. The fabric itself is frequently comparable to core Levi's denim, so this is less a quality failure and more a consistency failure. Treat these as a gamble and try before you buy whenever the option exists. Now to the 7 worth your money, counting up to the one that actually earns a place next to a $300 rack. Number 7 is the 505 regular fit, priced around $60. This is Levi's straight leg, non-tapered cut, built on a fabric weight in a similar range to the 501, typically 12 to 14 ounces depending on the wash. Compared to a straight leg designer equivalent, the core denim itself is frequently comparable in weight and cotton content, since much of the raw denim industry sources from a relatively small pool of major mills worldwide. Industry specialists estimate the production cost of a pair like this lands somewhere in the $15 to $20 range, putting the markup on a designer straight leg jean at several times higher for a nearly identical base fabric. The catch is fit consistency, since some 505 batches run a half size larger in the waist than others. The verdict: an honest, unglamorous workhorse jean that punches well above its price. Number 6 is the 514 straight, priced close to $70, sitting at a slightly lower rise with a straighter leg opening. The denim weight sits in a comparable range to the 505, and the stitching around the back pocket uses the same reinforced bar tack construction Levi's has used on its core lines for decades. This bar tack detail, a small reinforced stitch at stress points on the pocket corners, is the same construction method found on denim, costing 3 and 4 times as much, because it is simply a better way to prevent pocket tearing, not a premium feature exclusive to expensive brands. The catch is that the 514 runs slightly shorter in rise than some buyers expect coming from a 501. The verdict: a genuinely well-built option without paying a designer premium for the same reinforcement. Number 5 is the 511 Slim, priced around $70, one of Levi's most consistently sold styles for 2 decades. The fabric on core 511 production typically includes a small percentage of stretch fiber blended into the cotton, which changes how the jean recovers its shape over a full day of wear. Compared to a slim-fit designer jean using a similar stretch blend construction, the base fabric composition is frequently very close. The catch is that the stretch blend means this is not the pair to choose if you specifically want raw, rigid denim that breaks in and fades the way old-school jeans do. The verdict: an excellent, modern, comfortable option, just not a match for buyers chasing that vintage feel. Number 4 is the 550 Relaxed Fit, priced around $65, sitting on the more generous end of Levi's fit spectrum with a higher rise and fuller leg. This cut has remained largely unchanged since it was introduced decades ago, meaning the pattern has been refined over a long production history rather than redesigned every season. The denim weight runs comparable to the 501, and the fabric is typically cited by longtime owners as holding up exceptionally well over years of wear, developing natural fade patterns along the same stress points that raw denim enthusiasts pay a premium for on designer labels. The catch is that the relaxed cut simply isn't for everyone, and the fuller leg can look boxy on a narrower frame. The verdict: for anyone who prioritizes comfort and durability over a slim silhouette, this is one of the strongest values on the list. Number 3 is the 501 Original, priced around $70 to $98 depending on the wash, the flagship that essentially created the 5-pocket jean as the world knows it. The denim weight on core 501 production typically falls in the 12 to 14.5 ounce range, and the pattern, rivet placement, and arcuate stitching across the back pockets trace back to the same design lineage the company has protected since the jean was first patented in the 1870s. That stitching detail is actually a registered design element, one of the oldest surviving clothing trademarks in American manufacturing history. Compared to a heritage-style designer straight-leg jean built on similar rigid denim, the fundamental construction and cotton content are frequently very close, with the designer version's price driven substantially by brand positioning rather than a proportional difference in materials. The catch is that rigid, non-stretch versions require a genuine break-in period, and buyers expecting immediate comfort should look elsewhere on this list. The verdict: the most historically significant and pound for pound, one of the most defensible price-to-construction ratios in the entire Levi's catalog. Number 2 is Levi's Made and Crafted, priced between roughly $150 and $250 depending on style. And this is where the comparison to designer denim becomes genuinely apples to apples. This line is produced with tighter quality control and, on select styles, uses denim sourced from specialty mills rather than Levi's standard mass production suppliers. The fabric weight on select styles runs heavier than the core lines, and finishing details like hand-sanded fading and selvage edges mirror techniques used by boutique denim labels, charging considerably more. A selvage edge is a tightly woven, self-finished edge along the inside seam that comes from being produced on older, narrower shuttle looms rather than modern high-speed looms, and it has become a mark of quality among denim enthusiasts because it resists fraying. The catch is availability, since Made and Crafted is sold through a narrower set of retailers and popular washes can sell out quickly. The verdict: This is Levi's genuinely competing in the same construction category as brands charging 2 to 3 times more. And number 1, the pair that actually earns a direct comparison to that $300 rack, is Levi's vintage clothing, priced between roughly $200 and $320 depending on the reproduction year and wash. This line exists to reproduce specific historical Levi's models, in some cases down to the exact loom construction used decades ago. For years, Levi's vintage clothing sourced selvage denim from the White Oak plant, operated by Cone Mills in Greensboro, North Carolina, a facility that had woven denim on shuttle looms since the early 20th century, before it closed in 2017, a closure widely reported as the end of an era for American-made selvage denim. Since that closure, sourcing has shifted toward other specialty mills, including long-established Japanese denim producers known for maintaining similar shuttle loom techniques, and industry sourcing patterns consistently point to this being the same general supplier pool that boutique designer heritage brands draw from. When you buy a $300 pair of heritage-style raw denim jeans from a small designer label, and you buy Levi's vintage clothing, there is a real chance the actual woven denim originated from a comparable specialty mill using comparable equipment. The catch is that these are rigid, shuttle loom selvage jeans with a long, sometimes uncomfortable break-in period, and they are not the pair to buy if convenience matters more than authenticity to you. The verdict: this is the line where the red tab genuinely stands shoulder to shoulder with the designer rack, and in terms of construction lineage, it may have more claim to that heritage than some of the labels charging more for it. So here is where all of this lands. Skip signature entirely, since it is a different product wearing a familiar name. Skip outlet exclusive pairs unless you know exactly what you are getting, since the tag alone won't tell you. Skip limited collaboration drops unless you can try them on first, since consistency is the real risk. Everything else on this list, from the everyday 505 up through Levi's vintage clothing, represents a genuine case of construction quality that does not track neatly with the price difference beside it. The habit worth carrying into every store you walk into after today is simple. Read the construction, not the rack. Check the fabric weight, check the stitching detail, check where the line sits inside the company's own hierarchy before you let the price tag make the decision for you. If you have ever bought a pair from one of these lines and had an experience that confirms or contradicts what we found here, tell us which line it was in the comments below. Since real, lived experience from people who actually wore these jeans for years is exactly the evidence that keeps investigations like this one honest.